Okay, this is NBMooselover once again, and I'm just going to use some trail cam footage here just as a backdrop. Just wanted to tell a little story here. It happened to me just 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just getting around to getting it on here, um, but I was hauling my side by side with my trailer and my Tundra, and my wife was with me and my son, and we're driving on New Brunswick Highway. I'm not going to say where this was on a public thing here, but in New Brunswick here on a highway, uh, and not too far from my home, and we were it was 3 in the morning, and we were on our way to one of my moose spots, and basically we were watching for moose because we were in an area where there's a lot of moose traffic crossing the highway. But at the exact moment that this happened, your mind is not on it 100% all the time, and we'd just gone through a heavy moose area, and anyway. I'm driving, concentrating, just driving along, and coming to a fairly sharp turn to the left. That's basically some heavy trees, and we're on a kind of a straight stretch before that, and my wife and son start screaming, "Moose, moose!" And I basically, I took me aback a bit, and I don't remember exactly how quick I remember I hit the brakes, but I didn't slam right on the brakes. I was thinking, I got my side by side on the back, and it kind of, took me by such a surprise because I couldn't see any moose, and they were actually seeing two young bulls barreling across the field to my left, heading right in front of us, and I didn't see them until they got in my headlights, and so I came onto the brakes, but I didn't slam them on, so it was kind of a little here, a little there, and then there was one of the bulls ended up right in front of me, and I really thought I was going to hit him. I really did. Wife thought I was going to hit him, and at some point, I came onto the brakes, and not enough. I could feel the slack come out of the trailer ball, and and kind of the trailer kind of lurching a little bit, and but. The only thing that saved me from hitting that moose was that he was going a little bit on an angle across the highway. If he had been going straight square across in front of me, I probably would have hit him. And so then the other one basically crossed just slightly above him. And the twist of this story is that we were lucky, and it was a close call. But the closest I've come to hitting a moose. I've never hit a moose. I have had other close calls, but the thing was, my son, the next morning, he works, not always from this spot, but he basically was traveling through this area. He travels through this area quite a bit, and the next morning he was on his way back from work, and he come around that same turn, and there was a vehicle parked on the side of the road, and the guy standing beside it, and so he looked over, and there was a moose laying in a field. With just its head sticking up above the grass, and so he thought it was a little odd. So he turned around, went back, and he was talking to the guy, and the guy basically had called the rangers, and this moose could not get up. He tried to get up. He had a video of it where the moose is trying to get up, and you can see that its front shoulder is injured. And I thought about putting the video on here, but there's no point of that. Just for people to see that anyway. So. But basically, somebody had come around that turn. This is the morning after we had our close call, and when my son, came by there, it was 8 a.m. in the morning. So obviously, whoever hit them earlier when it was dark, and then hit both of those moose. One was in the ditch dead, and the other one was in the field, and like I said, could not get up. And the rangers actually came, and the ranger actually came while my son was there, and they had to he had to put the moose down. So I'm just making this video just basically as a a reminder to people, be careful, with moose on the highway, and not just in New Brunswick, but everywhere. I mean, there's accidents happen all over, the United States and Canada. I mean, it's just especially at dusk and early morning. Different times of the year, it's more prevalent. And the flies are bad, and I think that's what, in this case, the midgets were terrible. My son was sitting in his car, and he was videotaping the moose in the field, and he said the midgets were just driving crazy with the window down. And so, I mean, the bugs will get them running, horse flies, moose flies, and dog flies, and and moose, are traveling everywhere anyway. I mean, especially at night, and very difficult to see. And you gotta keep your high beam lights on, and make sure your high beam lights are good and strong, and adjusted accordingly, and just want people to kind of use this example to make people that just reminder, more aware of it, because this could have been bad for us. I mean, I don't know the whoever hit these two moose, of course had didn't stop. I mean, the guy that was there was not the guy who was involved in the accident with them. A ranger, and we all kind of presume it was probably a large truck, maybe hauling lumber or logs, I mean, and come around the turn and had one of those cow catchers on it, or a heavy bumper that he basically didn't. There wasn't hardly any debris on the road, just a couple of pieces of plastic. So if it had been a car, it would have been damaged. I don't know how he hit both moose. I would say that the moose were standing in the middle of the road together when he come around the turn, and hit one square, and the other one just caught a little bit. I mean, they could have been moving, I suppose, down the road, but if it was a big truck, it would be more apt to hit both of them. And if it was a car, you would think that it wouldn't be drivable. But and I suppose one moose, he could have hit one, and then the other one run into the side of the truck and hurt its shoulder. I suppose that's possible too. So but that's it's just here we thought the moose had survived, and we missed them, and so come to find out they got hit the next morning. So kind of a funny coincidence there. And so I just put this little video together with some footage here, just to be able to have something here to give me a chance to tell the story. So in your location, to and try not to drive at night any more than you have to, is another thing. Don't take risks traveling through moose country if you don't have to. If you can get there in the daytime, it's a lot better for you and the moose. So then I'm planning on getting out to my trail camera again here in a week, and hopefully have some new footage. Last time SD card was had actually filled up on me, and I was a little late getting to my spot, and actually had to get tires for my truck. The tread was wore way down on them, and I actually got new brake pads, which I was really glad when the moose ran out in front of me, so that was a good thing too. But and since I was late getting out to check on my camera, I missed 2 weeks of videos because the SD card was full. 64 gigabyte card, and it had about 500 videos on it, so it actually I've got to I'm going to be a little earlier getting to it this time. So it was over a month last time, so hopefully I have some interesting videos, and I hadn't got any new calf videos. That 2 weeks I might have got had a chance, but hopefully this time maybe I'll get some young calves, and hopefully I didn't miss when they're I always like to get them when they're really tiny, so hopefully I didn't miss it. But I did get a little video on my regular camera of a cow on the road, you know, in my area. So I'll upload that here shortly. And so NBMooselover, and thanks for watching.